Hi guys, so welcome back to this another lecture of FRA. So the main purpose of this lecture is to revise the concepts that have been covered in class 5 and 6 of UT Rao sir's lectures, where he has covered ratio analysis and analysis of financial statements basically. Now for this lecture, I'll be recording only the part prior to ratio analysis uh, and then I'll make a separate video for ratio analysis altogether. I'll quickly get started. I'll keep this video very short so that it's easy for you to revise. Um, so the first thing that I'll talk about is what is the purpose of any corporation? Any corporation exists because it aims to create value for its stakeholders. Now, what is value? Value is basically how much that company is worth. Now, the value of a share is different from the price of a share. Okay, so the price of, let's say, share X in the stock market might be 1,000, but the value of that share might be more or less. So that is why we called something as undervalued or overvalued. Okay. Now value is how much that share is worth to me. For example, this is my phone. This phone might cost, let's say 30,000. That cost is the price of that phone. But the value of that phone is how much benefit that phone will give me. Now, if my value is more than my price, only then I'll buy that phone. If my value is less than the price, then I'll not buy that phone. That is why maybe if there is a very high valued phone, I won't buy it, because for me the value proposition of that phone does not justify paying that price. Okay. um, Now what is a stakeholder? So value corporation derives value for its stakeholders. Who is a stakeholder? Stakeholders can be different people in a organization. So this is the difference between stakeholder and shareholders. Shareholder is one of the stakeholders. Shareholder is the owner of the company or who holds the ownership of the company. So that is my primary stakeholder. So stakeholder, my shareholder is here. It's whoever owns the company. Other than that, there can be other stakeholders like my employees, my customers, my debtors, creditors, governments, my competitors. These are all my stakeholders. Now every stakeholder wants to create a value, wants to take some value from the company. So what does my shareholder want? My shareholder wants that I generate some kind of a return and pay off their like give them the return on their investment. My customers want the best product at the lowest price. My suppliers want a regular supply of regular orders and something. My employees want the best working atmosphere, the timely payments and stuff. So you get the point. So like every stakeholder wants something. Now this is where the different ratios come in. So like for my stakeholder, my earning would be something that they would look for. So that's why earning per share, EPS, P ratio, those ratios will come in for stakeholders. For my debtors, creditors, the liquidity will come in, that am I able to pay that interest, am I able to repay the loan. So that's where my debtors and my creditors, bank creditors will take. uh, for my uh, customers, they'll see my pricing and stuff like that. So that's where there are different ratios, and we'll talk about the ratios in the next video, so I'm not elaborating there. Second part of the PPT was capital maintenance. So what is capital? Capital is what the shareholders, okay, so there is two kinds of ways funds can be arranged. One is your equity and is debt. Debt is not, debt is called debt capital, but that is, don't confuse, don't call it capital. Capital is generally referred to as the equity shares. Okay. Now capital maintenance, what it says is that the capital, let's say I'm a shareholder, I bring in 1 crore rupees. That is my capital. Now that capital will uh, my business is running throughout the year, and if I generate profits, that profit will go into my equity share capital. So equity share, the shareholders fund has two components. One is the equity share capital, and then there is reserves and surplus. This reserves and surplus, when the company starts, that is zero. As the company keeps operating and creates profit or losses, that profit and loss goes into, either it's paid as dividend. If it's paid as dividend, goes out of the company's books. If it's not paid as dividend, it's retained by the company. It's called retained earnings. So earnings are, earnings can either be distributed, that is called, if it's distributed as dividend, that is distributed earnings, and whatever is retained earnings, that is called reserves and surplus. Now if I make profit and I don't pay dividend, I take that profit because that profit belongs to the shareholder. So that profit I take it and put it in the reserves and surplus. And if there is a loss, I to cover that loss, I take money out from the reserves and surplus. So that is that. So whenever in the ratios you will see shareholders fund, you have to add your share capital and reserves and surplus both. Okay, so capital, in the capital maintenance, the company's purpose of the company is to maintain its share capital. So like it should not erode the share capital. So how will the share capital erode? If it keeps making losses, it will keep draining out the reserves and surplus and erode the share capital. Got it? Now next thing about the company is that, okay, I got this 1 crore of capital. Now where should I put this? I have business venture 1, 2, 3, 4, how many? Now I have to find out which business venture will give me the best amount of return and will be worth my investment. So company has to decide that as well. Okay, this is done. Now next comes the financial statement. Financial statement is something we have already covered, as Panda sir would say that 10-12 क्लास देखे होंगे ना आप FRA के. So anyways, so financial statement is something that we have covered. Now what are the major components of a financial statement? Okay, please don't say these three things. Okay, balance sheet, profit and loss account, and cash flow statement. These are the three common things. There are two other things that people generally miss. And if even in the interviews or something, if people ask you what are financial statements, always say these 5 things. Okay, balance sheet, profit and loss account, cash flow statement, statement of changes in equity, and notes to accounts. Okay, these 5 things make up the financial statements. Okay, now sometimes you'll see that instead of profit and loss account, you'll have income and expenditure account. Income and expenditure account comes where the company is a non-profit organization, so it does not aim to create profit, so does not make sense. I'm calling it profit and loss account, so I call that income and expenditure account. So balance sheet, income and expenditure or profit and loss account, cash flow statements. We have not done cash flow statements yet, but we'll do it in the upcoming lectures. So cash flow statements, statement of changes in equity, and notes to accounts. These are the 5 components of financial statements. Okay, now analysis of financial statement. Why do we analyze financial statements? So financial statements on its own does not really make sense. Okay, so for example, even for, let's say, cricketers, how much run that cricketer scores in one match does not really tell you the potential of the cricketer. Okay, so what we do, we compare it for, let's say, for example, let's say one cricketer as okay, MS Dhoni. Okay, so let's say MS Dhoni, if you see the performance in one match, you can't really judge the potential of that cricketer. You have to see what is the performance in the previous matches. Also, you have to see performance against other competitors, like other wicket-keeping batsmen in the industry, and you have to see how they're performing. Similarly, for the companies as well, you have to compare the past performance of the previous years as well as with the industry. Okay. Um, so again, with internationally, you can compare locally or nationally, whatever. Now to compare the performance of a company, you need some tools. Okay, so there are 3 primary tools. First is your common size balance sheet, second is your index based balance sheet, and third is your ratio analysis. Common size balance sheet is basically known as a vertical analysis. So you remember this assignment we had to do, and I think this was discussed in class also, where vertical, what does vertical mean? That you're comparing each row of the balance sheet or profit and loss account. So what you do is you assign one particular row as 100%, and then you do a percentage of that. So for example, if you're comparing the balance sheet, you take the total assets or total liabilities, and then you find a percentage. So like, for example, how much percentage of your total assets is your current asset? How much percentage of your total assets is your cash? How much percentage of total assets is your debt? How much percent of your liabilities is debt? So, and you compute the percentage of each. So that is called a vertical analysis or a common size balance sheet. Similarly, for a profit and loss account, you'll take 100% of sales, and then you'll take percentage of sales. For example, how much is your cost of goods sold as a percentage of your sales? How much is your general selling and administrative expenses as a part of sales, and depreciation and interest expense, whatever. Okay, so this is one tool. Second tool is your index based. So what we do is we assign, like, let's say that company is operating for a 5 years period, or even for quarterly period also you can do this. So it's called horizontal analysis because you're comparing horizontally. Okay, so performance of 2000, let's say 2019, 20, 21, 22. Okay, and you take the first year whichever you're starting, you assign it as 100, and then you see the growth. So let's say 5% growth, so from 100 it'll become 105, again 5% growth will become 111, something, whatever. So that's how you do a horizontal comparison. That is called index based comparison or horizontal comparison. Now another comparison is ratio analysis. So in common sized balance sheets and index based, what happens is that you're comparing the figures either within the balance sheet, so like figures in the balance sheet only, or in case of a horizontal, you're comparing with the past figures. But in ratio analysis, what you're comparing is you take the balance sheet and the profit and loss account. Okay, and you're taking one item from the balance sheet, one item from the profit and loss account. For example, if you're taking a ratio like return on assets or asset turnover ratio. So asset turnover ratio, you take your assets from your balance sheet and you take your revenue from your uh, profit and loss account, and you do a like comparison from the balance sheet and profit and loss account, or sometimes even, for example, debt equity ratio, you can do within the balance sheet as well. So that is what a ratio analysis is. Okay, for ratio analysis, I'll go much deeper into the different kinds of ratio, and it'll probably be a long video, so I don't want to make it into this video. I'll post it in like sometime. Um, so hopefully you got the gist of whatever else was covered. Um, and you can just, for the ratio analysis, you can, for the time being, go through the formulas that are given in the uh, PPT that's shared, and I'll also discuss the purpose of each ratio, why that ratio is used, when is that issue used, and I'll refer to the ICI study material, and I'll give you and I'll explain those in detail. Okay, so thank you for watching this video. I hope this helped, and if you have any questions, you can leave in the comment, or you can DM me in Zyka or something. Okay, thank you so much, and subscribe.